Good afternoon. Welcome everyone to our electronic regional special council meeting on August the 9th, 2022. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Regional Council is practicing physical distancing. I'm present in the council chambers with Councillors Clark, Foxton, Galloway, Jowett, Verbanovich, Shantz, and Kiefer. All other members are participating electronically. The purpose of this meeting is to ratify various recommendations before Council enters into a period of restricted acts due to the upcoming municipal election. I now will ask the Regional Clerk, Will Short, to do the roll call.
Thank you, Chair. Chair Redmond.
Present.
Councillor Ivanovic.
Present, and I just note that it still says Administration and Finance Committee. I don't know if that matters.
Okay. Councillor Jaworski.
Here.
Councillor Clark.
Here.
Councillor Lorenz.
Here.
Councillor Jowett.
Here. Now.
Councillor Erb.
Here.
Councillor Nowak.
Here.
Councillor Kiefer.
Here.
Councillor McGarry.
Present.
Councillor Armstrong.
Present.
Councillor Harris. Councillor Shantz.
Present.
Councillor Strickland. Councillor Foxton.
Present.
And Councillor Galloway.
Present, 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 present.
Thank you, colleagues. I will now entertain a motion to reconvene in open session. If I could have a mover and a seconder, moved by Councillor Armstrong, seconded by Councillor Shantz. Please use your icons to vote yes or no. That is carried. Thank you, colleagues. We have now reconvene in open session. I'd like to acknowledge the land on which we gather virtually today is the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, and Neutral people. We acknowledge the enduring presence of the Indigenous people with whom we share this land today, their achievements, and their contributions to our community. What I have learned from First Nations people with whom I have worked is that our relationship with the land should be one of stewardship and not ownership, and I'm honored to make this journey with them. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest under the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act? Seeing none, I would now entertain a motion to go into Committee of the Whole to consider reports. If I could have a mover, Councillor Kiefer, and a seconder, Councillor Foxton, please use your icons to vote. That is carried, colleagues. The first report is Finance Report, and I would entertain a motion to approve two financial reports that are listed before you. One has to do with King Street East, Highway 401 to Sports World in the City of Kitchener. It has three parts to it, and Highway 78 Pedestrian and Cycling Bridge, Strasbourg Road to Avondale Place in Kitchener. Councillor Lorenz, are you moving it, or do you have a question?
Both.
Okay, consider it moved, and please feel free to pose your question.
It has to do with the second item, which is the pedestrian bridge. Over the last 4 years, I've taken a lot of heat on this. It's been, to some people, very controversial. In fact, it's been longer than 4 years because of the, anyway. The question I have is, it seems like it's going to take a year and a half. Am I reading this right? I know we don't do pedestrian bridges over the express often, but I just thought when we dealt with, I was on the steering committee, and we looked at components that they were going to be able to drop into place. I guess I'm just wondering why it's going to take a year and a half as opposed to just craning that stuff in.
Okay, I believe Mr. Bauer is on the call, and he may be able to address your concerns. Phil, are you on? Welcome, Phil.
Thank you. Yes, through you, Madam Chair. So it is about a year and a half, and the work will start this year with the abutments and the ramps to either side. And then the actual bridge structure will be built offline along Chandler Place. And that will take place in the early part of the first half of next year. And then the bridge will actually get lifted into place and moved across the highway during weekend closure and an overnight closure. So it's the timing for getting the abutments, the ramps in place, constructing the bridge, and then moving everything into position.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So the two motions have been moved by Councillor Lorentz. If I could have a seconder. Councillor McGarry, thank you. Please use your icons to vote. That is carried, colleagues. We're on to committee reports, and the first is an Economic Development Committee summary of July 19th, 2022. If I could have a mover and a seconder. Moved by Councillor Jowett, seconded by Councillor Armstrong. Seeing no questions, please use your icons to vote. That is carried, colleagues. Thank you. Next is a Community Services Committee summary of August 9th, 2022. Julie, I believe you have a summary to put up. So we dealt with this earlier today in committee. If I could have a mover and a seconder, and this has to do with response times, paramedics. Councillor Shantz, you're moving it? Thank you. Moved by Councillor Shantz, seconded by Councillor Foxton. Thank you. Please use your icons to vote. Oh, Councillor Burbanovich, do you have a question?
Yeah, just one. I'm just, I guess, questioning the piece around the homelessness plan, because I asked that question earlier and someone said that was coming back on the 18th, but we're dealing with other things today. So I'm just wondering why the difference.
So one of the reasons was because it was a substantive report, and we thought that if there were people that wanted to come and delegate on it that hadn't had time to read it, that it would come back on the 18th. But staff will continue to move forward with the plan.
Okay, but it'll definitely come back.
Yes.
Ahead of, okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. Planning Committee, a summary of August 9th, 2022. And again, Julie, I believe you're going to post this. This is to build up suspense, colleagues. So this has to do with Active Transportation Committee, Concession Street Bridge, water main replacement, and 152 Shanley Street in Kitchener. Looking at tax relief and Region of Waterloo to direct evaluation of Stage 2 Ion South Terminus location. If I could have a mover and a seconder. Moved by Councillor McGarry, seconded by Councillor Clark. If you could please use your icons to vote. Thank you, colleagues. That is carried. Next is a summary from Public Works Committee. Sorry? Oh, sorry, A&F, one behind. And Julie again is going to put the summary up. But I could have a mover and a seconder. Moved by Councillor Armstrong, seconded by Councillor Shantz. Please use your icons to vote. That is carried, colleagues. Next agenda item is a closed Administration and Finance Committee summary of August 9th, 2022. This is Memorandum of Understanding with ONA from April 1st, 2020 to March 31st, 2023. Moved by Councilor Bravanovich, seconded by Councilor Jowett. Please use your icons to vote yes or no. That is carried, colleagues. Next agenda item, a motion for the Committee of the Whole to rise and Council to resume. I have a mover and a seconder. Moved by Councilor Kiefer, seconded by Councilor Shantz. Please use your icons to vote yes or no. That is carried, colleagues. So we are now resuming as council. I need a motion to adopt the proceedings of the Committee of the Whole. Moved by Councilor McGarry, seconded by Councilor Nowak. Please use your icons to vote. Almost took a vote from Connie McDonald because she moved her hand. That is carried, colleagues. Thank you. We have no other business, but I'm going to entertain a motion to enact the bylaws first, second, and third readings. This is bylaw 22-037. And this confirms the actions of the special council meeting on August 9th. Moved by Councilor Kiefer, seconded by Councilor Galloway. Please use your icons to vote yes or no. That is carried, colleagues. We now need a motion to adjourn. Moved by Councilor Clark, seconded by Councilor McGarry. Oh, sorry, Councilor Armstrong's voting twice. Councilor McGarry, please excuse me. Please use your icons to vote yes or no. That is amazingly and surprisingly carried. Thank you, colleagues. A very